Again, Nubian King here for some commentary. Sitting here today, Friday morning. As you can see, I don't have any work orders yet. They haven't said anything for me so far as needing this crane. And while I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about different things. Just finished watching some news videos on different things in the news today. The wars around the world: Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Hamas, you understand? And then the political scene with the election, Trump, Harris, what have you. And then also this piece with Diddy, P. Diddy, Sean Combs. You know, they're mentioning Jeffrey Epstein in the same sentence with Diddy. That's not good. That's real bad. I remember when uh, Jeffrey Epstein got busted and all of that took place. Okay, I said to myself, Shazam, he must have pissed somebody off. You know, because uh, conduct like that, doing those type things, generally those people at that level, they don't get busted. You know, they don't. It's those people. They've been doing that for hundreds of years, maybe even thousands, all the way back to the rock piles of Europe. That beastly, barbaric type, demonic activity. They've been doing that. Ain't nothing new. You know what Epstein was doing, and then the girl Ghislaine, that's her name, Ghislaine, and then here you got P Diddy in the music industry. Excuse me. Well, generally, you know, I believe that nothing happened to those people because they have some of the world's most powerful individuals in their network of constituents. And they cover each other. They use their power, their influence, whether they're businessmen, politicians, or what have you, billionaires, all of their little large network, you know, they use to cover themselves and protect each other from any type of problems. Well, Jeffrey Epstein, you know, he, boom. Now all of a sudden we hearing about Jeffrey Epstein. But what were we doing? You see, working. We didn't know nothing about no Jeffrey Epstein until we started seeing it in the news media, right? Now, because um, Diddy being in the entertainment industry and doing the music and the videos and whatnot, that's how a lot of people came to know about him. And I say know about him because we can't say we know him. Okay? And this is why I say, you know, we know of people, but we don't know people. We didn't know that about Diddy. You know what I'm saying? You didn't, I did. We knew the dude made music and had a record label, Bad Boy Music, and had the drink Ciroc, you know, and a few other things. Excuse me, but the individual, man, we didn't know that dude. Now we're finding out things about him that's just awful. It's incredible. Wow. And it's just sad that we see some of the most demented, evil, corrupt beings in position of, you know, they just be on. Like they gave him the key to the city of New York. You all see that? You got the key to the city. And it's like, man, the most slimiest creeps, evil, demonic demons are the one that's getting on, you know, getting in position and got all the money and be just beyond. You can't even, man, I can't even describe how evil and corrupt. some of those individuals are. And you know, to them it's like a game. You know, he being slick, they sneaky. You know, it's like a game. They know what they doing. You understand? And they just like, man, it's like they tricking us. And it just be a game to them. You know, fun and games. They got all that money, fame, fortune, you know what I'm saying? Beautiful homes, beautiful cars, that lifestyle that the greater majority of the humans on this planet will never know or even experience. They live it every day with their demonic, devilish, evil, wicked selves, doing all kind of evil. But I believe Diddy done ticked somebody off. It's just like I was thinking about Epstein, same thing. How is it all of a sudden the world is hearing about you when you all been carrying on and doing that stuff for ages? How is it that we now know about you and you being exposed? And then they killed him, put him in a cell somewhere, worked up the guards and did whatever, and boom, he dead. Then came out with a story, and they knew exactly what was gonna happen, what life was gonna go on. Everybody gonna forget about Epstein. Now here you got this Diddy guy, Sean Combs, and they saying he is the Epstein of the music industry. Whoa, what? So now his name have come up and people wind up in the ground and beat up and intimidated and all type of hellish things. They played a video a few months ago, a recording, sound like they was raping a brother. And it was awful, man. It was just, to hear that brother screaming like that, man, wow. And this is all Diddy, you know? And this woman on the news report I would listen to, she was asked, well, why do you think it took the authorities so long to get him? Because they have been just stacking up evidence, video evidence, recording evidence. And so now, you know, I'm thinking, old boy done ticked off somebody in that network. Now that they got him locked up, the question is, will he remain amongst the living? Because if he is the Epstein of the music industry, then there are some people that they ain't gonna want to be exposed. And to keep from being exposed, they may not be too interested in running the risk of him singing like a bird. Cause you know, it's just like when the brother said, dude, if you ain't from the streets, you don't have no don't snitch code. You get to singing like a bird when the government be telling you we're gonna put you in prison for 50 years. You 20 and you talking about they gonna put you away for 50 years? Your whole life is about to be no. So they get to singing like a bird and be talking, and then when they finish, they say, is that enough? You need some more? You ain't from the streets. So those individuals that Diddy done video, and they know he got the video, old boy might need to stay in prison in a room with just a door locked by itself. Because if the chances anybody else go in there, man, these people, they don't care about getting at you. You know, money, I mean, money will get you everything. And if it's somebody that's out there working in the capacity of unaliving people, everybody got a price. What's the average price? What, $5,000? So you know how many people could use $50,000? And if you working in the prison system as a prison guard, $50,000 is a major situation for you, right? And they just want you to go in there and off this guy that you ain't got no relationship, you don't know, and you don't even care. $50,000. And what's $50,000 to them? It ain't even a drop in the bucket. With the kind of loot they dealing with, $50,000, it dries up before you even get to the bucket. So you sitting there, you waiting to hit a drop, hit the bucket, and you'll never hit nothing. Why? The kind of money they dealing with, $50,000 dries up before you even get to the bucket. Like we say, oh, that ain't a drop in the bucket. It sure ain't, because it don't even get to the bucket. $50,000 to them, up there, $50,000 evaporate in the atmosphere. Down there where they need that 50,000, it drops like a bomb in their lives. You follow what I'm saying? So if they need to drop $50,000 to do something, make somebody go somewhere, man, please. I remember I saw a video a while back of the Saudi. Excuse me. This is over in excuse me. I'm sorry. This is over in Saudi Arabia, inside of one of those palaces that they living in over there, right? They had a bunch of boys in their robes and whatnot in the palace. It's all beautiful and gold. And all of these boys look like they were about 12, 13 years old, 14, had just big, big stacks of cash, you know? And they got it and they sit down on the couch. And it was so much money, some of it fell on the floor, it fell on the couch, and the boys were just counting and playing with it. These are children. And it was, you know, when you see it, it's all $100 bills. And I mean, it was stacked. There was about 5 or 6 of them boys. So much money they couldn't even carry. You know, it had to be several $1,000,000. So that's from their families over there in the Saudis, and they dealing with the oil and the business and investment and all things they doing in their, you know, in their orbit. And so the son, they just gave him all this money. I don't know. It was just a short video where they showed them with all of this money, you know. And so if it's all $50,000 to make someone disappear, man, that drop don't even make it in the bucket. When they drop it over the bucket for it to hit in the bucket, $50,000, please. So that boy done ticked somebody off. Something somewhere along the line done upset the norm to cause them to turn on it. Because they've known that for years. Them people, all of them in there cahoots together. Like those freak-offs that he used to have, it ain't but one person that I know that actually did not participate. And we saw the video of him leaving, and that was Denzel Washington. Denzel like, nope, not my cup of tea. Denzel was smart enough to know and see the energy and looked around and turned around and walked out. And they videoed him leaving. Other than that, the video of Kevin Hart all up in there on the mic, yada, 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 and doing all kind of whatever, laughing and joking now, that's that. But then these other people was talking about going in some of them room and seeing things that, whoa, you know. So it's going to be quite interesting to see if this individual actually stays alive, due to the fact that he has video on people, and that could really be, you know, the nail in the coffin for him. Because some of those people, you know, I've heard stories that some of those individuals in high places were actually videoed by the, and he was working for the Mossad, the Israeli Mossad, like Israel FBI, right? Intelligence service. And they actually paid him to get certain individual on video doing very, very, bad things in order to manipulate and control them. I don't know if that's true. You know, that's what I heard. You understand? You hear all type of stuff, but at the same time, some of them things you hear be absolutely true. To manipulate you and get you in a bad position. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. That boy, it looked like he done ticked off the wrong person, and they done pulled the cover off for him. Now he out there, and just like the judge said, better take his passport. Cause old boy, he's a piece of work, and we will never know the extent of the evil that him and his people participated in. We just won't know. Cause when you do something for that long, man, your record is long and deep. But that's my statement. Sound like he done ticked off the wrong person.